So it's now 5 days after surgery. This is Wednesday and surgery was on Saturday. Starting to feel a lot better in myself. Certainly more mobile, happy walking around the house and up and down stairs. Went out for a 20-minute walk this morning. Not too far, it's fairly slow pace, but still managed to get a couple of thousand steps in, which was good. I think getting mobile is key to helping recovery. Able to move around the house, slightly constrained still with the catheter bag. So attached through here, but you can move about fairly freely with that without any interference. At night, using the leg bag, so that attaches to a little stand the hospital provided, and then you connect the long tube off the end of this to the end of the leg bag on here. Then you open the tap and it drains through the night into the larger bag. I think that's a 2.5 litre capacity, whereas the leg bag is only half litre capacity in there. Still compression stockings, which are a bit get on and off, but I found it's actually easier for my wife to help me to start pulling them on, and then I finish pulling them up. It seems easier to pull them up than push them on from the bottom. Also started injections today for the blood thinners. That's a simple little self-administered syringe once a day over the next days. Took me a while to get that in there the first time, just a bit nervous, but once I did, actually it wasn't too painful. Putting that injection in, sharp scratch as you have with any injection, and then done with. So that's good. I've been able to have a couple of showers since coming back home. It takes a bit of time and it's slow going to get everything off, get the compression stockings off, get undressed, get into the shower and carefully have a shower. I've been using a wash. It's like a decontamination wash, so it's completely unscented, but it's antibacterial. So I think that's probably another layer of protection against any infection, just to be on the safe side. So if you're squeamish, turn away. I'll just show you the current state of play after surgery. So a number of incisions across my tummy all the way around to here, so I think 6 in total. Still a bit bloated. Wouldn't normally be sticking that far out from my tummy. I think they all will get removed, and the clips that are holding in place, it's not stitches, it's I think metal or plastic clips that they then remove, and that'll happen when I go back to hospital in about a week's time on next Tuesday. That's when I have the catheter removed. I have those clips taken out, and hopefully that will make a big difference then to allowing those wounds to heal, being able to move about a bit better without the catheter, and hopefully start getting some more walking in and help recovery. As of yet, I haven't been to the toilet for number 2. They say that can take 4 to 6 days. I'm having sort of smallish meals, mostly soft stuff, easy to digest things, and twice a day taking the lactulose stool softener. So hopefully in the next day or so, I'll be able to go to the toilet again and get the bowel moving, which should be good. So all fun and games at the moment, but actually not too bad given it's 5 days, and feeling a lot better. So it's now Friday, so almost a week since surgery. Trying to get out and about for a bit of a walk each day, no more than 20 minutes or so. A relatively slow pace, not my usual pace. Haven't really experienced any pain at all. Actually nothing really since the operation itself. Been taking regular paracetamol, a couple of tablets about 4 times a day. That's the only pain relief, but really keeping that going just to keep any pain at bay, but really haven't had any pain around the incisions or anywhere. That's great at the moment. Oh, and also key thing, actually had a bowel movement, well, I think 3 over the last couple of days, so the laxatives the hospital gave have done their bit, and that's great to have the confidence that everything's actually flowing nicely, so all good in that regard. Slowly getting more sleep each night, still waking every 2 to 3 hours, but managing to drift off pretty quickly after that. So that's stepping up. Probably was only getting maybe it's 5 hours a night. It's getting close to 6 or 7 hours a night, so more settled sleep, which I think is helping recovery. Also, getting used to the injections. There's once daily blood thinning injection. Normally do when I get back from this walk. So getting used to that. It's not really very painful. No worse than any injection really. And no bruising. I heard that can cause some bruising where you inject. Not had any problems with that at the moment. So that's good. Dressings are staying clean and dry. Managing to shower pretty regularly. Looking forward really to next week. So next Tuesday, going back to the hospital to get the surgical staples removed from the incisions and get the catheter out, which will be great. Hopefully that'll give me more confidence to be a bit more mobile. But going pretty well overall. So it's now Friday, almost 2 weeks since surgery. So yeah, it will be 2 weeks tomorrow. Was the day? It'll be the date of the surgery. Generally doing pretty well. This week on Tuesday went back to the hospital to have the surgical staples removed from the incisions. That was nice to get those out, so they're now all uncovered without dressings and letting the air heal those small incisions. Actually don't look too bad at all. The biggest one being just above my belly button, where they make the hole to remove the prostate through after they've cut it away. So that was all good. Also at that appointment the catheter was removed, which was a relief. That was an interesting experience, having that pulled out. Not painful, but a bit weird. The appointment was quite a long appointment, nearly 3 hours in total. I hadn't quite realised the protocol they go through to check that you're able to pee properly once the catheter's removed. So arrived there, had the staples removed, had the catheter removed, was given some incontinence pads, and then told to go and drink a couple of jugs of water. So that was about 1.5 litres in total of water, probably over a 30-45 minute period, and then given a urinary jug, one of those cardboard jugs, to go and go for a wee in. So that then once you've been able to have a wee, they go and measure how much you've expelled, weigh the pad to see how much you've leaked onto the pad, and then do a quick scan, some sort of ultrasound scan of your bladder to see how much is left in there and work out if you're passing through enough. So pass the first test the first time round, and then you repeat that process. So go away with another jug and another bottle and wait till that goes through you, come back, get it all measured, have another scan of your tummy and your bladder to check that everything's all good, and if you've passed sufficient at that point and passed test 2, then you're good to leave. So I think it was almost 3 hours in total from getting there to departing, so quite a long appointment. So while all that was happening, I thought, well, I want to take the catheter out, it would just pretty much pour out of me. But no, there was an ability to hold it. I would say I'd probably hold in 300 mils of liquid in the bladder before I went for a wee each time, which I think is probably about 2/3, 3/4 of full bladder. So that was pretty good. It wasn't just leaking straight back out as soon as I was drinking it, which is one thing I was worried about, given the catheter had been in 10 days. And that means the pelvic floor muscles being held open continually, so got a bit relaxed into that position, but things seemed to tighten up pretty well. So left the hospital about midday after that appointment, came home, did usual sort of things, had lunch, went for a bit of a walk, etc. Started wearing number 3 pads. If you look online, you'll see the sort of tenor pads for men, number 3 being one of the more sort of the maxi pads, more takes a bit more flow, so I was wearing those just in case, but actually wasn't really feeling much leakage. And by the time I went to bed that evening and swapped the pad out, I think I probably leaked about 40 mil in total. So what's that, about 3 tablespoons worth from lunchtime until the evening, which I thought was pretty good going. And then swapped that pad overnight. Didn't really have any leakage during the night. I had to get up, I think it was once in the night for the first night. Sort of got woken about 2 and sort of felt like I needed to go for a wee, and then went for a wee, but no real leakage. But when I measured what I have been doing is weighing the pad, putting it in a nappy sack and weighing that after when I remove it, and then you can deduct what the dry weight was before and work out how much has actually leaked into the pad. And overnight on that first night it was something like 4 mil, so that's not even a teaspoon, which I was chuffed with, really. I was expecting far worse than that in terms of leakage on the day that the catheter was removed. So for the last few days, what is it? That's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's now Friday. That sort of trend has continued. It's been great. I've sort of changed the pads once every 24 hours, so wearing it pretty much day and night, and weight difference has been a couple of grams, so 3 mil leakage, which is like half a teaspoon's worth over 24 hours. So I think it's just on the odd occasion if I bend over or strain, don't sort of engage the pelvic floor, then there's a risk of a few drops, but hardly anything, which I don't know if that's usual. It sounds very good to me, but from what I've read online, that it can be far worse. So I do feel very lucky that I'm in that state, that it's almost no incontinence at all at the moment. Fingers crossed that will continue, and that things won't change. What I would say is I did a lot of work on pelvic floor exercises leading up to the surgery, so regular daily pelvic floor several times a day, doing clenches, slow clenches, fast clenches. So I'm hoping that's really what's helped things recover quickly, was the effort put into that. So I definitely recommend, if you have got a little bit of time before your surgery, get on with pelvic floor exercises. Seems to have made a massive difference. I'm trying to sort of continue them now the catheter's out. Not finding it as easy to do pelvic floor exercises as I did before. It's a bit harder to tense the muscle because things are still a little bit sore. But it's getting there slowly. I'll keep working on that, and hopefully that'll help me stay dry. In addition to everything to do with sort of continence side of things, at the appointment at the hospital, they gave me a prescription for tadalafil, which is an ED medication. So a total of, I think it's 24 tablets, 20 milligrams each, to be taken twice a week. I think they kick in and last for about 3 days when you take them, hence it's you sort of take them twice a week, so that should last 3 months, really, to hopefully start getting blood flowing down there in the groin area. Hopefully everything recovers in that regard over time. Time will tell, I guess. I think that's probably going to be the thing that's longest to know, of how quickly anything's recovering. Given at the moment everything externally seems to be healing quite nicely, but it does still feel like there's a lot of internal healing to do. It's sort of tender still, bending over. It's fine just going out for a stroll like this, but anything a bit more than that, you can still feel it's not quite right just yet. Not painful, just a bit sore and tender at times, when you're sort of sitting down or pushing up from being sitting down. But I think overall so far I've been very lucky. I think surgery's gone well, continence is doing well, pain's been minimal, getting used to the daily injections. Still got those to go for a couple more weeks of the blood thinners, but no real problem there. Now I've got used to doing that, so all good. What I have found with the tadalafil, if I can pronounce it, is there are quite a long list of potential side effects from that drug. Mostly sort of headaches, a bit of nausea, aching, etc. It lists things like having sort of vision interactions, sort of losing your vision a bit, and indigestion, etc. I haven't really suffered with any of those. I would say the day after I took the tablet, had a bit of a headache, but that soon cleared with some paracetamol. did find last night, so that's the Wednesday, Thursday, was the third day, that I was aching quite a lot. So there was quite a lot of muscle aches, legs, arms, back particularly. But that does seem to be easing. Took a couple of paracetamol an hour ago, and I think having a bit of a walk has helped ease some of those muscle aches. Doesn't feel quite so bad now. Hopefully over time I'll get used to any side effects, or they'll diminish from taking the tablet more regularly. The real key thing will be appointment with the surgeon in a couple of weeks' time to get any pathology results back from the prostate that's been removed. Hopefully that's all clear and there's nothing in the margins, and no worries about it spreading. So fingers crossed, we'll wait and see.